XRP holders, Ripple going all in Brazil. Please read the disclaimer. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. Currently, XRP and the crypto market are sitting and waiting to hear what's going to happen tomorrow. Not a lot of price action after yesterday. We saw some big movements from the crypto market, from XRP, about a 7-8% movement yesterday. Today, we're pretty flat across the board around the crypto market. Stocks also nor here nor there, not up nor down in a huge way. And I think everybody is just looking and anticipating to see what's going to happen tomorrow with the Fed meeting, with the PPI. But there are other things that we need to talk about here. We got some news. We got something that's Ripple's doing. Like I said, their statement, not mine, that they're going all in. So we're going to check all of that out. All I asked from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button. Let's try to get 1,000 likes on this video. I know you guys can do it easy peasy for you. Check. Are you 1,000? Maybe you're 1,000? No? Yes, maybe. Currently, XRP is sitting at $1.50. Sorry, almost died there. 53 cents. My wife says I'm a hypochondriac. I don't know. What do you think? If you think you're going to die from a cough, you might be hypochondriac. $1.53 here for XRP, down is minus 0.8% on the day. Bitcoin at 74,600. You can see flat. Ethereum, same, 0.5% down. Solana, 0.85%. But for the most part, pretty flat here. Interesting. I don't know what was going on here, that price action that we had just a few minutes ago. But for the most part, it is very interesting or expected that the day before the FOMC meeting, the Fed decision, where it's basically 99% according to probabilities that he's going to leave interest rates where they are, that the market money is sitting on the sidelines. By the way, you're going to want to watch all the way to the end of the video because it's a very interesting stat about the current status of cash. Money of cash with retail investors right now. So you're going to want to watch, of course, all the way to the end. As always, I just want to remind you that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. I do not know what the market is going to do day to day. I can anticipate and expect and look upon my experience, what's going to happen. But, Trump can say something and that can rock the market. For example, he said that the U.S. doesn't need NATO, Japan, Australia, or South Korea, and says Iran's military is completely destroyed, according to Trump's Iran Navy, Air Force, air defense, and leadership at every level are gone, and he claims that the U.S. never needed NATO or any ally to begin with. This could be very interesting, and we'll see how this whole story develops in the next coming months, because this could shift significantly what's happening in Europe. So we'll see how that plays out. Right now, it might not be too critical, but Trump signals that the U.S.-Iran war will end soon. Trump says we weren't ready to leave Iran yet, but we'll leave in the very near future. So the question again is it 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 10 months? How long are they anticipating to stay and to continue this campaign? What are the exact goals? We don't really know. Like, okay, we can say, destroy all their missiles, take out their leadership and all that, remove the regime, maybe. I don't think that that's going to happen this time. So what are the goals? When do they say, okay, we're good? When they're on their knees, I don't know. So it's going to be very interesting to see how long this takes. And again, oil prices, they're still high. Oil is at 96. So it's not over 100. So we're back under 100, but it's still high. Silver down again 1.5%. Gold down 0.9%. 0.09%. You remember when gold and silver were the hottest thing out there, right? And, it's been like a month or so since we had the high. When was this? January. In January, we had the high of 120. Now it's sitting at 79. So, things shift very, very fast. And there's even potentially a crossover here on the 1348 EMA. Interesting if that actually happens and we see a continuation to the downside. So again, markets can change, markets can shift, geopolitical things can change the story. So we have to take into consideration that every day, again, things can shift, things can happen. And just remember that if you are short-term investing, that things can be very fragile and very volatile according to the global news. You might be looking at, technical analysis, right? It's looking beautiful. It's about break out, and I don't know what happened here. My thingamajig trend line got totally. I don't know what happened there. I think maybe my son was playing with it. I'll fix it later. But we had a trend line, and I don't know. I think I know what happened. I have to. There's something with the logarithms that I have to fix. I'll do that later. But anyway, so we have this current situation right now where the markets and the technical analysis could be pointing one way, but Trump says something, or the Iranians do something, or the Fed says something, or someone says something, or Clarity Act gets delayed, something that totally flips the market. So always remember that possibility. But this is interesting. We haven't seen these kinds of headlines in a while because the market has been, what's the word I want to use? Not so great, right? And you usually see headlines like this about minting when the market is about to do a big movement, when there's interest in the crypto market, when there's possibility that people are going to need USDT or USDC, and they're going to go to the exchanges or wherever they're getting their stable coins. And we usually see this before a big movement. We're seeing this again. We haven't seen this in a while. I don't think since like October 10th, I've seen a headline like this, and I'm all over, crypto news. So this is very interesting. Again, is this a signal that we could potentially see some nice movements here soon? Time will tell, right? All the time travelers will tell us what they know. This is interesting. New CBOE files for 24/5 stock trading with SEC. CBOE Global Market submits proposal to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to extend equity trading 24/5, targeting a December 2026 launch. So we know the CBOE, they do the, you can see here the trading for the futures, right, for Bitcoin. Sorry, that's CME. Sorry, I got mixed up. CBOE, CME, it's all these C's, right? But this is okay. So let me rewind a little bit. So CBOE Global Markets, if we have this could be actually not so great for crypto because if you have something that's 24/7, right, crypto trading, and now you're going to have CBOE markets 24/5, so it's competition, right? And so maybe this will remove from the volumes of the crypto market starting at the end of the year. We'll see. Not lower volumes is not always bad. Okay, just let's put it that way. This was interesting. Also, there's a headline: Mastercard to acquire stablecoin infrastructure company BVNK for up to 1.8 billion. Deal adds on-chain payment rails for stablecoin, tokenized deposits, and tokenized assets across 130 countries to Mastercard's existing network. And so again, we're continuing to see these quote unquote regular fiat companies dabbling in the crypto market and entering the crypto market as well. It will be very interesting to see in the future how these integrations go. So now the Ripple news. Ripple, you can see here the tweet from Ripple saying Ripple is going all in on Brazil. Ripple payments, 100 billion process, 60 plus markets live with Banco Genial, Baraza Bank, Nomad, Azifi, and more. Ripple custody, recent launch in Brazil with CRX. Ripple Treasury, decades of corporate treasury management expertise. One provider, the complete financial stack. You can see here the headline: New Ripple announces full institutional expansion across Brazil, covering payments, custody, prime brokerage, and treasury, in addition to filing a VSAP license with the country's central bank. So we'll see in the future, do we see more of these and more countries that are going to have Ripple total coverage? And of course, the more traffic, the more potential usage of XRPL, the more potentially we could see usage of XRP. And then potentially, again, it's all potentially, we could see movement with the price action to the upside. Okay. New, the CFTC has issued a no action letter to Phantom saying it won't pursue enforcement if the self-custody wallet provider facilitates user trading through registered intermediaries without registering as an introducing broker, aka a middleman that brings customers to trading firms. A notable signal for how regulators may treat crypto wallets versus intermediaries. So this is interesting, and we're seeing more distinction, more regulation, more clarity in the crypto market than we've ever seen before. And potentially we'll see how this is going to affect the crypto market going forward, where the CFTC starts regulating what it's supposed to regulate. The SEC is supposed to regulate what they are supposed to regulate. And we talked about this in the morning, that there's supposed to be a meeting today between the SEC chairman and the CFTC chairman, and they're supposed to iron out all the kinks and where each agency is supposed to, be on the crypto market. And so again, the more clarity, the more the bigger money potentially can come into the crypto market. Now, this is the interesting stat of the day. I don't know how you guys want to think about this or tackle this, but when we look at what's happening right now and we look at the stock market and we look at the crypto market, we look at precious metals, it was surprising but not surprising for me when I saw this headline. Breaking: investors has rotated into cash at the fastest rate since the pandemic amid the Iran war, with average cash holdings in portfolios rising to 4.3 of assets under management, right? So why would they potentially be doing this? Well, investors are rushing to this is first of all, we'll see what Grok says, and then I'll tell you what I think. Investors are rushing to cash amid the uncertainty, right? Spiking oil and broader Middle East escalation. It's a classic risk-off behavior, preserving capital and liquidity until the dust settles. Okay, so if we go back, think about this. The stock market really didn't pull back that much. Crypto didn't pull back that much, right? If you go back and you think about it, there have been much critical pullbacks since the pandemic. You had in 2022 the carry trade, right? And you had in 2025 the whole tariff sell-off, right? But you didn't see the same amount of cash at those moments. So people were either selling or shorting or rotating or buying other things, and it was dropping the market, but they weren't holding cash. They were holding still assets. So this is very interesting that now we're seeing a very fast spike into cash because of this uncertainty, because a lot of fear that's happening on media, on YouTube, on Twitter, where people were frightening everybody that when it started, for example, remember over the weekend, they were like, oh, there's going to be a big sell-off in the Monday morning, and then nothing, right? It was flat. And then the next week also something happened. Oh, there's going to same thing, right? So there's a lot of fear mongering right now. And because people are uncertain, they don't know what's potentially going to happen, they're holding a lot of cash. What could potentially happen after this clears up, the conflict's over, Clarity Act comes in, a lot of this cash could be potentially coming into the crypto market. So it's going to be very interesting to see in the next coming weeks, months, how does that cash distribute going forward. Very, very interesting times ahead. As always, don't forget to check out the links in the description down below. Drop a comment. 8 for infinity and beyond are just your general feelings. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.